Hello everyone, so welcome you back to Ashok Tutorials. Well, what are we going to do today is that we are going to solve paper 2, right? Paper 2 of what? Paper 2 of child development and pedagogy, all right? So this is for your CTET examination January 2024. All right, as you know, your exam is getting you are not start, your exam will be on the 21st of January, so please prepare accordingly. All right, so this is the fourth video I'm making. This is the fourth video, but this is the first video for paper 2. All right, so those who want to write for UP section, that is class 6 to 8, that is upper primary section, you please go through this video. And as I will be solving this question paper, I kindly would like to request you to solve the question paper along with me. So when I ask you to answer the question, you can pause the video for a few seconds and you can answer it, and at the end of the video you calculate how much you have scored. And today I have brought around 30 questions, all right, 30 questions, as this is exactly what will come for your exam. So for your exam as well, you are going to get only 30 questions for 30 marks, one question for 1 mark, right? So this is a question paper of which year I don't remember exactly, but this is a mixture, I suppose. All right, so you try to answer it. So if you can score 15 or 12 or 13, 14, then you are doing great. All right, you are doing great. So please try to solve the question along with me. All right, then there was something else I'm forgetting, I'm not remembering as of now, so I'll let you know if I remember it. All right, I forgot something more I wanted to tell you, so doesn't matter. So let's get started. All right, now let's start. So question number 1 says that, what does question number 1 say? Proximo-distal principle is illustrated in which of the following examples? So they are using the word proximo-distal. So before we do anything, you should know the meaning of proximo-distal. I suppose you know the meaning of the word proximo-distal, right? So all right, so proximo-distal principle is illustrated in which of the following examples? Infants develop vision before the use of their arms. Infants develop cognitive abilities and then learn language. Infants first learn to move their torso and then their arms and legs. Infants learn cooing before babbling. So which one, according to proximo-distal principle, would you think will be the correct option here? All right, so you please pause the video and mark your correct answer. All right, so the correct answer here is option number 3, which says infants first learn to move their torso and then they learn to move their arms and legs. All right, so what does it say? So motor development, right? Motor development means development related to movement. So motor development in the human body does not occur haphazardly. It does not take place roughly, or actually it takes place in an ordered manner, an orderly manner. So it follows a definite sequence or pattern, right, which may differ from individual to individual due to what? Due to the degree and timing of development, because we do not grow all together at the same time and same pace, right? So proximo-distal development means what happens in this development, right? Growth starts. Where does the growth starts? At the center of the body and moves towards the peripheries or the extremities. All right, so it describes the direction of growth and development occurring from center to the outward in an infant. So basically we take the example, whenever we see the type of growth which grows from inside to the outside, internal to the external, we call it proximo-distal development. All right, so example can be infants gain control first over their torso and arms and then their hands and fingers. All right, so later on the infants, when you are trying to give something to a small child, infant, suppose you are trying to give the child a toy, do you think the child, or suppose let me say you are trying to give the child a pen, all right, or a pencil. So What do you think? How the child will hold that? Will the child hold that with fingers or with the whole hand or whole palm? Of course, the child will try to hold the pen or pencil with the whole arms, right? Whole, not the external, but the from the center itself, right? From the palm itself. All right. So let's go with question number 2. So question number 2 says that assertion and reason, all right, reason and assertion. So children of poor income families have very different childhood than children of high income families. So it says that children coming from poor families have different type of childhood as compared to the rich families. So reason will be the period of childhood is experienced differently by different across varying culture. Choose the correct option. The correct option is both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. Both A and R are false. So which one do you think will be the correct answer here? So the correct answer, alright, you pause the video and mark your correct answer. Alright, the correct answer here is option number A, which means both the assertion as well as the reason both are correct. Alright, which means that children of poor income families have very different childhood, alright, as compared to the children of high income families. Now cultural background gives children a sense of who they are, right? Whatever the culture they are following, it gives them directly or indirectly a feeling of or a sense of who they are. The unique cultural influences children response from birth, right? They start responding from the birth, including their customs, their beliefs around food habits, artistic expression, languages, religion, which affect the development of the child: emotional development, physical development, linguistic development, cognitive development, social development, mental development. So everything is being affected. All right, now let's go to the next question. See, now you might be thinking, why sir is explaining so much? I am explaining so much because I do not have time to take or make videos according to your syllabus. So that's why whatever I can do for you in this I think around 3 and 4 weeks like that time, I will try to do it. So don't take it like sir is only solving the question paper. I'm not solving the question paper only. I am giving you the explanation side by side, right? So that you understand how that particular answer has come. So you have to know it. If you do not know it, blindly ticking the options will not make any sense. So this is what I believe, and this is what I want you to follow, right? Here we are discussing the topic or question. Here we are discussing and we are learning about it, right? So it will be really very helpful if you really watch my videos, these videos. Last time also during MTET examination also what happened, many of you, not many, some of you tried to ignore the video, and later on at the 11th hour you're asking for my videos, you're asking for my notes, you're asking for my suggestions. That is of no use. So now when there is time in your hand, I am suggesting or I am helping you with whatever I can. So please cooperate and try to learn as I teach. All right. So let's see question number 3. Improved athletic abilities, participation in games with rules, logical thought processes that are centered around concrete experiences are hallmark of the period of infancy, early childhood, middle childhood, adolescence. So I give you some time. You please pause the video and mark the answer. Alright, so here the correct answer is adolescence. During adolescence, what happens? During adolescence, in the final stage, cognitive development, alright, cognitive development, the formal operational stage, this is called the formal operational stage. Children learn. What do they learn? They learn more about sophisticated rules of logic, right? Then they use these rules or logic to understand how abstract concepts work and how to solve the problems. All right, the child can analyze in this phase their environment and make deductions. All right, they can create, they become aware, they can create theories about what is possible and what might happen in the future based on their existing knowledge. All right, so these things happen during the period of adolescence. Adolescence is also known as a period of stress and storm by Stanley Hall, I think. Stanley Hall, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm mistaken, you please kindly correct me. So I think Stanley Hall said that adolescence is a period of stress and storm. All right, so let's go to the next question now. Question number 4, right? Question number 4. It's on top, I suppose. And dear friends, this video is going to be long. All right, see, I also spend my time. I am spending my time. I think this video will take more than 1 hour, I suppose. So please, you also give some time, spend some time, quality time. You should spend your time for your good only, right? You're not spending your time for my good. You are spending it for your future, because once you pass your CTET exam, then you go for KVS schools, JNVs, then army schools, right? So once you are a central government employee, then your life is successful. You don't have to do anything, right? So please cooperate. So let's go to question number 4. So what does question number 4 says? Which of the following are secondary agencies of socialization? Primary, secondary, tertiary. So they are asking about which of the following is secondary agency of socialization: books and magazines, immediate family, media, school. Which one? So pause the video and mark your correct answer. So here the correct answer, before I give you correct answer, it is books and magazines, media, what is this? Media, school, immediate family, and books and magazines. So here it will be, so here immediate family is fine, media is fine, and school is also fine. So these 3 acts as the secondary agencies of socialization. Now what do you think from this? Which option is the correct one? Option number 4 is the correct answer here, right? Now what happens? The socialization that we receive in childhood has a lasting effect. All right, it has a lasting effect on our ability to interact with others in society, in order to interact with the family, in order to interact with the teachers, with the elders, right? Now explore 4 of the most influential agents of socialization in childhood, including what does the agents of socialization includes? It includes our school, peers, media, family, right? Friends, schools, and all right, friends, school, books, and media are some example of secondary social agents in given school and respective options. All right, so there, see here what happens, there is no option here where all the 4 are given. So that's why we have selected whatever we find to be more relevant, right? So books and magazines, we can still keep it aside, so we have kept aside here. Let's go to question number 5 now. Now question number 5, according to Piaget, the unfolding of biological changes that are genetically programmed is called equilibration, adaptation, maturation, or social transmission. So I give you some time to write down your answer. Well, here the correct answer is maturation. What maturation, right? So one of the most important influences on the way we make sense of the world is maturation, right? When we become mature, the unfolding of the biological changes takes place that are genetically programmed or developed. Now parents and teachers have little impact on this aspect of cognitive development, except to be sure that children get the nourishment and care they need to be healthy, right? So maturation plays the main role here. Let's go to next question, that is question number 6. So question number 6 says, choose the correctly matched pair of stage and its characteristic as proposed by Jean Piaget. This scientist is very important, my dear friends. Jean Piaget, you know. This question is also of Piaget. This above one is also of Piaget. So he is very important. So according to Jean Piaget, which one is the correct match here? Sensory motor, engagement in mental manipulations, pre-operational, development, object permanence, concrete operational, capable of operations but not abstractions, formal operational, unable to mentally reserve action. So please choose your answer. Alright, so the correct answer here is number option 3. Concrete operational, that is capable of operations but not abstractions. So here what happens is that concrete operational is the third stage in cognitive developmental theory, right? In which we discuss that operational thinking starts. Here operational thinking starts, alright? Then intelligence is demonstrated through what? Through logical and systematic manipulation of what? Of symbols to concrete objects, alright? Here what happens? Children become more practical and realistic. Then what happens? They develop problem solving skills, capacity, but concrete problems only, right? They solve only concrete problems. They do not solve any type of abstract problems. And they can categorize object on the basis of attributes, right? And capacities like conservation, then numeration, then seriation, classification, and relationship development takes place in this stage. All right, so let's go to the next question now. Well, so now we have question number 7. Children talking aloud to themselves is an indication of their egocentrism, helps them to regulate their thinking, hinder their psychological and language development, is an identifier of severe behavioral problems. So please answer it. Pause the video. So the correct answer here is option number A. So children talking aloud to themselves means is an indication of their egocentrism. So who said this? So Jean Piaget, right? Jean Piaget called it egocentric speech. So Jean Piaget was, see again the third time his name is coming here, right? Jean Piaget. So Jean Piaget called it as egocentric speech, believing that he believed that children were selfish, right? They are selfish and they could not adequately meld with another person's speech, all right? And egocentrism refers to what? It refers to the child's inability of what? Inability to see a situation from where another person's point of view. All right, the egocentric child assumes that other people see, hear, and feel exactly the same as the child does. They do not, they are not able to view themselves from others' point of view, but they want it vice versa. All right, the egocentric child assumes, what does the child assume? They assume that other people see, hear, and feel exactly the same as the child does. In the developmental theory of Jean Piaget, what happened? This is a feature of pre-operational child, all right? So this is very important. This question is very important. So whatever the question I'm solving for you today are very, very important, my dear friends. So if you master these questions, I believe you will definitely pass your CTET examination 2024. So without any delay, let's go to the next question, that is question number 8. So which of the following are examples of cultural tools that aid or help and change our functioning as per Leo Vygotsky? Leo Vygotsky's theory. See, this scientist is also very important, all right, my dear friends. Please study in detail about Leo Vygotsky and about Jean Piaget, because many questions are going to come from them, right? Maybe around, out of 30, maybe around 10 to 15 questions, not 15, but 10 questions will definitely come from both of these scientists' theories, all right? So it says that which of the following are examples of cultural tools that aid and change our functioning as per Leo Vygotsky's theory? Is it maps, language, calculator, schemas? Please answer it. Pause the video. So here, let me see. Option number A says map. Map is correct. Then option number 2 says language. Language is also correct. And option number 3 says calculator or schemas. Then the third one, that is the calculator. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So option number 3 is correct here, right? Why correct? Because Vygotsky's cognitive development theory argues, what does it argue? It argues that cognitive abilities are socially guided and constructed, all right? They are socially guided and constructed. So he give very much importance to the social constructivism. As such, what happened? Culture serves as a mediator for the formation and development of specific abilities. What abilities? The abilities of learning, the abilities of memory, attention, and problem solving. So Leo Vygotsky's theory, in Leo Vygotsky's theory, what happened? Language is the most important symbol system in the toolkit, and it is the one that helps to fill the kit with other tools. All right. Now Vygotsky believed, what does he believe? He believed that cultural tools, like including those real tools, then including those symbolic tools, they play a very important role in cognitive development of the child. Right? So here he emphasized the tools that the culture provides to support thinking, so that all higher order mental processes such as reasoning, then problem solving, mediated by psychological tools, all right, such as language, signs, and symbols. So here the options given like maps, language, and calculator becomes the correct option for this particular question. All right, let's go to the next question now. Question number 9. So which of the following pedagogical principles would not be advocated by Leo Vygotsky? See, again, Vygotsky's name is coming, a same person again. So which of the following pedagogical principle would not be advocated by Leo Vygotsky? Employ reward and punishment, promote social interaction, use cooperative learning, encourage children to use cultural tools. Now here this is a very easy question, because whenever you all right, at first you pause the video and mark. All right, so I believe you have marked. See, whenever you hear the word Leo Vygotsky, no, here they are asking not means which one not believed or said by Leo Vygotsky. So whenever you see the word culture, it is always related with Leo Vygotsky. So this cannot be wrong. All right, now cooperative, he believes in cooperation, this also will not be wrong. Then social interaction, social, he is a social constructivist. Leo Vygotsky is known as a social constructivist, so this also will not be the correct answer. So this is the correct answer here, because this is the wrong answer, right? Wrong answer is the right answer here, because this is a negative question, right? So this is the correct answer here. So Vygotsky's theory revolves around the idea that social interaction is central to learning, which means there is, if you want to learn something, there should be interaction, there should be a type of social interaction. Vygotsky emphasized the concept of instructional scaffolding, yesterday I have explained already, which allows the learner to build connections based on cooperation, culture, and social interaction rather than reward and punishment. So he do not believe in reward and punishment, right? So please remember that. Let's go to question number 10 now. So let me pull it down a bit. All right, here is question number 10. So which of the following does not indicate a child-centered classroom? Which of the following does not indicate? See here also, not is there. So whenever not is there, you should remember that it is a negative question. Seating arrangement changes as per the activity. Children's progress is reported in qualitative terms and on all aspects of development. Teacher reads the textbook and write answers on the blackboard for students to copy. Children are engrossed in what they are doing. See, before C, you just pause the video and mark your correct answer. All right, so I believe you have already marked. So here you see, they are asking which of the following is not child-centered. Child-centered means child is the main hero. All right, child is the main hero. So seating arrangement changes as per the activity. Do you think child is the hero here? Of course. Children progress is reported in qualitative terms and on all aspects. So this is also, this is also child-centered. Then children are engrossed in what they are doing. This is also child-centered. So this third one is not child-centered. Because here teacher, they are reading about teacher, right? Teacher, so teacher centered. This is not child centered. So this is the wrong answer. So wrong answer is the right answer, right? So a learner or child centered classroom means what? It means planning and transacting curriculum in the classroom in a way that allows for flexibility in pace and style of learning, to keep in mind, right? Mind that children in a classroom are widely different, right? So this is what we believe. Now let's go to the next question, question number 11. In Lawrence Kohlberg, see, this is also a name of another scientist, Kohlberg, very important. Those who have done your B.Ed and D.El.Ed, you very well know who is Lawrence Kohlberg, right? So in Lawrence Kohlberg's theory of moral development, the stage of social order maintaining is characterized by what? Understanding of reciprocality, or fear of authority and avoidance of punishment, seeking affection and approval of others, each member of society having a personal duty to uphold laws. So according to Lawrence, which of the following is a part of moral development? So you please mark it. So according to Lawrence Kohlberg, it is number 4. Each member of society having a personal duty to uphold laws. All right. So Lawrence Kohlberg expanded on what? On the earlier work of cognitive theorist. Who is the cognitive theorist? That is Jean Piaget. So they have worked in connection with one another, right? So Jean Piaget, to explain the moral development of children. So Kohlberg believed, what does he believe? He believed that moral development, that is like the cognitive development, follows a series of stages. It does not happen in one stage or two stages. It follows a series. All right. So he used the idea of moral dilemmas. So now you hear the word dilemma. So remember that this word was used by whom? It was used by Kohlberg, right? So he used the idea of moral dilemma stories that present conflicting ideas about two moral values to teach 10 to 16-year-old boys about personal duty to follow laws, moralities, and values. Right? So this is what is true according to Kohlberg. Now let's go to question number 12. All right. So now let us read question number 12. According to Howard Gardner, see, this is also another scientist, Howard Gardner. Howard Gardner, very important this one. This person is very important. According to Howard Gardner, intelligence is a single entity. There are several distinct types of intelligence. Intellectual traits can be classified along 3 dimensions: operations, content, and products. Intelligence consists of a general factor and some specific factor. So which one do you think according to Howard Gardner is true? So pause the video and mark your correct answer. So your correct answer here is option number 2. There are several distinct types of intelligence, right? Linguistic intelligence, musical intelligence, kinesthetic intelligence, right? Mathematical intelligence, logical intelligence. So lots are there, right? Now Gardner's theory was based on the information processing approaches function on 3 basic principles. So Gardner's theory had got 3 basic principles. All right, like number 1, intelligence is not a single entity, right? It is not a single entity. There are, there exist multiple intelligence, as I have already said: kinesthetic intelligence, then musical intelligence, mathematical intelligence, logical intelligence, reasoning intelligence, right? So the intelligences are independent from each other. One intelligence is independent of one another, right? So like somebody might be very intelligent in languages, in learning languages, while other can be very intelligent in kinesthetic activities, right? So they are independent. So the intelligences are independent from each other. Now different type of intelligences work together to provide a solution to a particular or a different problem, right? Now Gardner has so far proposed 8 intelligences. How many intelligences? 8 intelligences. This is very easy topic, all right friends. So if you get time, please type Howard Gardner and please study about his theories of intelligences. So however, all individuals do not possess them in equal proportion, right? So what happens, we are not equally intelligent, right? So the particular situation or the context decides the prominence of one type of intelligence over the other. Some of us are good at learning languages, some of us are good at learning musics, some of us are good at learning different type of accents, so on and so forth. So many different type of languages are there, right? So let's go to question number 13 now. All right, so use of gender neutral language and discussing gender as a social construct rather than being biologically determined would promote gender discrimination, reinforce gender bias, encourage gender conformity, challenge gender stereotyping. Now, which one do you think will be the correct answer here? So pause the video and mark your answer. Now the correct answer here is option number 3. Encourage gender conformity. Now gender conformity refers to what? It refers to the characteristic of women and men, girls and boys that are socially constructed is hardly accepted, right? So these includes norms, behaviors and social associated with and all right, so behaviors and roles associated with being a woman, man, girl or boy, as well as relationships with each other. So what happens as a social construct, what happens, gender conforming varies from society to society and can change, and it can change over time, right? So it can change over time. So now what you will do is that you will go with question number 14. So blank should be followed by the teacher to facilitate learning of children from diverse background. What should be followed? Standardized curriculum, textbook centric pedagogy, differentiated instructional styles or summative assessment. So please pause the video and mark your answer. So the correct answer here is different instructional styles. So different instructional styles should be followed by the teacher to facilitate learning of children from diverse background, right? Now why so? To ensure effective learning, all right, to ensure effective learning for all students in the classroom, so that all the students in the class are able to learn. Teachers need to develop sensitivity to individual students' needs and respond, all right? They need to respond to them by flexibly adapting their teaching strategies and content. Now see, in a classroom there are different type of students, right? They belong to different social background, emotional background, cultural background, financial background. So a teacher's strategy has to be such that it meets the need of all the children and nobody is deprived of their rights of learning, right? So standardized, see, standardized, whenever you hear it's a negative word, it is standardized means fixed rules, right? So standardized curriculum supports the level of equity by ensuring all students have access to curriculum which has been found adequate by representation of their communities. All right, so this is what you have to keep in mind. So let's go to question number 15 now. Which question? Question number 15. All right, let me pull it down a bit. All right, so we'll go with question number 15. Which of the following statements about assessment of children is not correct? Again, we need here a negative sentence, not correct one. Okay, not correct one. Remember this. So assessment should be undertaken to facilitate learning and should involve diverse tools. Assessment should always be conducted as an activity separate from teaching learning. Assessment should give the teacher an opportunity to reflect upon her pedagogical strategies. Or the last question or the option is which one? Assessment should focus upon cognitive physical as well as psychological domains. So what do you think is the correct answer? Please pause the video and mark your answer. Now here, what does the question says? Which of the following statements about assessment of children is not correct? So assessment should give the teacher an opportunity to reflect upon her pedagogical literacy. Assessment is for the child, not for the teacher. So if it is for the teacher, means again it is teacher centric, which is a negative sentence, right? So this is your correct option here. So assessment is the process of what? Of collecting information with regard to what? With regard to the abilities, the interests, the aptitude, the personalities, the behaviors and attitude of the learner, right? So it is a process oriented approach that is used for what? Used to identify the areas for what? For improvement in the learning process. All right, so it is used to determine the outcomes, what students have learned, how much they have learned, what needs to be learned, the processes, the way they have learned, and the learning approaches of the learners, by which approach they have learned it better and the best way. So all these are taken into accounts. Now during instructions, what happens? The assessment can be used to determine what students are determined, what students are learning, so that if there a need, the teacher can adjust their teaching strategies according to the needs of the learner, right? So it is normally said that assessment also helps the teachers to analyze their teaching approaches or strategies to learning before, during, or after the program or course, so which gives an idea to them that whether they should continue with their present teaching techniques or tactics and strategies and approaches, or should change and modify their teaching strategies according to the needs and demand of the classroom scenario, right? So this has to be taken care by the teacher. So now let's go to the next question, that is question number 16. So where is question number 16? It's here. All right, question number 16 says inclusion in education implies that inclusion means what? Students are given admission selectively on the basis of their abilities. Students make adjustment as per the demands of school. All students study in same school irrespective of their differences, or students with disabilities study separately in special schools. See, this is a positive question, so you have to give a positive answer here, which means negative one will be the wrong answer here. So pause the video and mark your correct answer. All right, so the correct answer here is option number 3, which means in an inclusive education, all the students study in same school irrespective of their differences. All right, irrespective of their differences, they study in the same school. So inclusive education values diversity, all right, and the unique contribution each students bring to the classroom. So in a inclusive education, what happens? All the children from different backgrounds are welcome, all right? Their different cultures, their different languages, different mother tongues, different social background, cultural background, emotional background, financial background are respected, all right? In a truly inclusive settings, what happens? Every normal and abnormal child feels safe and has a sense of belonging, which means all the normal child, the specially able child, everybody is respected and they are made to feel a sense of belong to that particular place. All right, students and their parents participate in setting learning goals and take part in decisions that affect them. All right, so students and teachers and parents, they work collectively in order to aid the child, all right, both inside and outside the school. All right, now let's go to question number 17. So question number 17 says, which of the following disability cause challenges in reading and comprehending the written material? See, this is very simple question, and the answer is already there in my videos. So if you are watching my videos from MTET, that is MTET videos, also CDP 1, if you watch, that is enough for you to clear this CTET examination, because it is related, right? So CDP portions are related. So if you are watching my videos which I have made and uploaded on my channel Ashok Tutorials, then of course you are going to qualify your CTET very nicely. Especially your CDP portion, you'll get good marks, good enough marks you'll get, because as you know, you'll have different subjects, right? EVS, you have mathematics, you have English, you have Khasi, you have Garo, you have CDP, you have. So in all these subjects, CDP is there, child development and pedagogy is there, which is coming for around 10 to 15 marks. Then 15 marks will be subject specific, but 15 marks will be pedagogy related. So if you are able to do nicely, if you are able to do good enough in, if you are able to do good enough in this one, what we say, in MTET, then of course you will do good enough in CTET as well. So this is a very easy question. So they are asking like, what is the condition or the problem in which the child have problem in reading and comprehending, reading and understanding the written material? Is it locomotor disability? Is it hearing impairment? Is it dyscalculia? Is it dyslexia? Pause the video and mark your answer. So the correct answer here is dyslexia. Alright, what is the correct answer? Dyslexia is the correct answer here. So as you know that locomotor disability means what? Disability related to motion, right? Locomotor means motion. Hearing impairment means related to hearing. Dyscalculia related to calculation. But this one they are asking related to reading and comprehending or understanding. So it is dyslexia, right? Then what happens here is that dyslexia is a language processing disorder that impacts reading and comprehension. So you should remember this, all right? So you have all watched the movie Tare Zameen Par, right, by Amir Khan. So there you see Ishan, right, the small child. So that child is suffering from what? He is suffering from the disability called dyslexia, right? Let's go to the next question now. Question number 18. Question number 18, yes. So which of the following will hinder inclusion of learners from disadvantaged and deprived groups? Now hinder means what? Hinder means to slow down or affect negatively. So which of the following will affect or hinder inclusion of learners from disadvantaged and deprived groups? Flexible curriculum, decontextualized content, learner-centered pedagogy, or comprehensive evaluation? Which one do you think will be the correct answer? Please pause the video and mark your answers. So the correct answer here is decontextualized content. It will hinder the inclusion of learners from disadvantaged and deprived groups. Why? Contextualization is the act. What is that? What act? It is the act or process of what? Of putting information into context, all right? Making sense of information from the situation or from the location. So decontextualized assessment includes written exams and term papers which are suitable for assessing declarative knowledge and do not necessarily have a direct connections from classroom to the real life context. So which is a, like, you know, this is the reason why it hinders inclusion of learners from disadvantaged and deprived group of children, right? So let's go to question number 19 now. Question number 19. So question number 19 we have here. So it says use of diverse pedagogical strategies by the teacher will help in inclusion of students with speech impairment, students with visual impairment, students with giftedness, creative students. So which one do you think is the correct answer? So if please pause the video and mark the answer. All right, so here the correct answer, see here, it is said that when a teacher is using diverse, means many different type of strategies, teaching strategies, then it will help the students with speech impairments. Yes, it will help. Students with visual impairments, again it will help. Students with giftedness, it will help. Creative students also it will help. So it will help all, which means all of the above, which means option number 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Good. Now let us go to question number, which question will go about now? Question number 20. All right, before that let me explain to you a little bit about this question number 19, right? So inclusive pedagogy means what? Inclusive pedagogy is a method of teaching in which what happens, instructors and classmates work together, right? They work together to create a supportive environment that gives each and every student equal access to the process of learning, right? To the process of learning. Now, inclusive classroom celebrates diversity. It celebrates diversity and work to ensure that both teacher and students, example, normal, deprived, gifted, impaired, all of them, they benefit from the course of study inside the classroom. All right, let's go to question number 20 now. Which of the following is a correctly matched pair of appropriate accommodation strategy for inclusion of students with the specified disability? It means which of the following is a correct matched pair of appropriate accommodation strategy for inclusion of students with specified disability. Dysgraphia. Let's go to the next question. Dyslexia, locomotor disability, or visual impairment. So which one do you think is the correct option? Which of the following is a correctly matched? All right, so before that we have to read it. We have to read full. Dysgraphia, ensuring compulsory writing on unruled sheets. Then we have dyslexia, giving text with a mixed uppercase and small letters for reading. Locomotor disability, provision of classes on ground floor. Visual impairments, using sign language for communication. So which one according to you is correct? Please pause the video and mark your answer. So option number 3 is the correct option here, which says locomotor disability. So provision of classes on ground floor. So ground floor, locomotion means related to movement, right? So according to Person with Disability Act of 1995, what happens? Locomotor disability means disability of the bones. It can be the disability of the joints. It can be the disability of the muscles, leading to substantial restrictions of the movement of the limbs, or any form of cerebral palsy is considered to be the locomotor disability. Right, so let's go to question number 21. Which of the following facilitates students thinking? Which of the following facilitates students thinking? Drill and practice, coping without understanding, discussion with peers, passive listening. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Please pause the video and mark your answer. So it cannot be drill and practice alone. It cannot be coping without understanding. This is wrong. Passive listening. Passive is a negative word. All right. Passive means just sitting simply and listening. So the correct answer here will be discussion with peers. So it is generally assumed that active engagement of students during discussions with peers, some of whom know the correct answer, leads to increased conceptual understanding by the students. So when they are discussing what they understood, what they did not understand along with their friends, they are creating a sense of understanding to one and another. All right, let's go to question number 22. So it is important to blank situations where the students are blank listeners for long periods of time. It is important to avoid passive, create passive, prevent active, reinforce docile. So which one do you think correct answer? Please pause the video and mark your answer. So here the correct answer is reinforce and docile. So what does it mean? Reinforce and docile, what does it mean? So it is important to reinforce situation, right, where the students are docile listeners for long period of time. So reinforcement is catalytic tool for learning. Catalytic means what? Catalyst means what? Catalyst means it is a type of element or anything which make the reaction to be more effective. Biological catalyst, right? Enzymes, enzymes are known as biological catalyst because it takes it makes the chemical reactions or biological reactions faster. However, it does not take part by itself directly, but it aids the reaction to take place quickly and in a more rapid manner as compared to it will be without the use of catalyst. All right, let's go to question number 23 straight away. Question number 23. All right. Which of the following is correct in context of learning? So students learn best when they participate in culturally irrelevant activities. Students learn best when they participate in meaningful activities. Students learn least. Oh, sorry. Yes, correct. Students learn least when they participate in culturally relevant activities. Or students learn least when they participate in meaningful activities. So which one do you think is the correct context of teaching? So here the correct context of teaching is students learn best when they participate in a meaningful activities. All right. So meaningful learning teaches students to important socio-cultural and interactive skills, and they will use these throughout their life. Right, so this is the participation of what? Between peer and teacher to students. All right, so in the long run what will happen is that meaningful learning is the most effective, it will become the most effective way for students to engage in the process of learning. Right, let's go to question number 24. While designing instructions, a teacher should ensure that her instructions does not confuse and discourage students, facilitate scaffolding, mediate learning, result in transfer of learning. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Please pause the video and mark the answer. So the correct answer here is option number A. So while designing instructions, a teacher should ensure that her instruction does not confuse and discourage the students. All right, he should take care while designing instructions. A teacher should ensure that her instructions does not confuse and discourage students. Scaffolding is a supportive attitude, leads to mediate and transfer of learning. All right, so let's go to question number 5 straight away. Question number 25. So question number 25 says, which of the following is not promoted by the advocates of socio-constructivist approach of learning? Which of the following is not promoted by the advocates of socio-constructivist approach of learning? Conditioning of behavior, discovery learning, scaffolding, use of cultural tools. So which one is not, advocated? So please pause the video and mark your answer. So the correct answer here is, all right, option number 2, which says discovery of learning. All right, it is not advocated by the social constructivist approach. So here what happens is that discovery learning is undetermined or undermined. All right, so in socio-constructivist approach, now social constructivist approach is an approach of what? Of learning which gives primacy to collaborative learning by involving learners in the process of discussions and project related to real life situations. So whenever there is a relation between the projects, the inside scenario of their classroom along with the real life situation, then this is, this method follows. Now characteristic of socio-constructivist approach can be like it emphasizes collaboration with others for learning, then it ensures the active involvement of learners and promotes peer tutoring, then it allows learners to foster their own strategies, all right, of learning to perform an activity, then it views learners as makers of meaning and creators of knowledge through social interactions. Right, so this is, see, whenever you hear the word socio-constructivist or socio-constructive socio-cultural, so these things are related with which this one, educationist. I suppose you remember it is always related with Leo Vygotsky, right? Remember that. Now let's go to question number 26. So it says that in order to enhance problem solving skills of students, which of the following is a good strategy? So in order to enhance problem solving skill, if you want to enhance the problem solving skill of the students, which one will be the good strategy? Create situation that demands application of knowledge, give a list of facts to rote memorize, instruct suddenly students to copy written information from board, teach content for getting good marks in exam. So which one do you think is the correct answer? Please pause the video and mark your answer. So here the correct answer is option number A. Create situations that demands application of knowledge. So in order to enhance problem solving skill of a student, create situations. You have to create a situation that will demand what? That will demand the application of knowledge and relates Jean Piaget's concrete operational learning stage. All right, let's go to question number 27 now. Question number 27. So question number 27 says a teacher should deal with the misconception among children by what? Identify but not attending those misconceptions, providing opportunities to counter the misconceptions, punishing children for expressing misconception, referring them straight to remedial teacher. So which one do you think should be the correct approach in order to deal with the misconception of the children? So please pause the video and mark your answer. All right, so here the correct answer the correct answer is 2. Second one, here see, identify but not attending. See, not attending becomes a negative word. Punishing, so whenever you hear this word punishing, this will always be a negative sentence. We never punish the children these days. before it used to be, but now we cannot punish the children, right? Then remedial teacher also not needed. It has to be provided opportunities to counter the misconception. So we should give enough opportunity to the learners so that we can counter their problem, right? All right. So misconception may originate from personal experiences, from imprecise languages, from lack of examples, from non-examples in concept formation, then media representation of phenomena, errors in logic, errors in textbook, or anything, all right, any source it can be. Now what happens when creating your lesson? Begin by identifying as a specific misconception or bottleneck and explain how you will address it in a meaningful way, right? This means students friendly vocabulary and activity for multiple ones that confront students' ideas and make them aware of their own inaccurate perceptions or misconceptions. All right, so let's go to question number 28. Question number 28. So shame is blank to the process of learning. Shame is essential, shame is harmful, shame is not related, shame is significant. So please pause the video and mark your answer. So the correct answer here is shame is harmful, right? It is harmful to the process of learning. So we should not, we should not feel shy. We should not let the students feel shy because it will affect the process of learning. Now let's go to question number 29. So what does question number 29 says? The shift proposed in National Education Policy 2020 is from standardization to flexibility, formative to summative, conceptual understanding to learning for exams, multidisciplinary to rigidity. So which one is the correct answer here? Please pause the video and mark your answer. So this is negative. It will never become rigid. Then only learning for exam will not do. Only summative and formative assessment will not do. It is from standardization to flexibility. We need more flexible teachers, we need more flexible curriculum, we need more flexible school, we need more flexible what is that, everything, whatever it is, we need the flexible one. We do not need a rigid curriculum or the rigid structure or the rigid, anything rigid is not good for the teaching learning process. So however it can be flexible, that is very, very beneficial and useful for us. All right, so let's go to now. All right, so the National Education Policy 2020 also, it was launched on the 29th of July. All right, and outlined the vision of India's. So it focuses on 5 pillars. So what are the 5 pillars of NEP? So affordability, accessibility, quality, equity, and accountability, to ensure ensure that continual learning take place, or continuous learning process takes place. Now the last question we have is question number 30, which says that learning should be directed towards blank rather than blank. So learning should be directed towards competition rather than imitation, or learning should be directed towards imitation rather than competition. Learning should be directed towards memorization rather than understanding, or learning should be directed towards understanding rather than memorization. So please pause the video and mark the answer. Alright, so the correct answer here is learning should be directed towards understanding rather than memorization. See, we do not encourage memorization, but rather we encourage the process in which more understanding takes place, right? So with this we have completed the entire 30 questions of CDP. See, I told you it will take around 1 hour, so 60 minutes it has already taken. So I hope that in this 60 minutes which you have spent with me watching this video has given you some knowledge, at least a bit of knowledge regarding CDP, regarding the names of scientists like Jean Piaget, Leo Vygotsky, Kohlberg, right? So please study this in detail about these 3 scientists. Actually, I have also explained about them in my video, but I don't think you have watched that. If you have not watched it, please kindly go and watch it. All right, so please see, you people are not commenting. I ask you to comment how much you are scoring. That means sometimes I feel like you are not solving it along with me, so I want you to solve the question paper along with me, so that I also feel happy. You know, I feel like you are liking my videos, and you do not like also. You should like, share and subscribe. You're right. You should share you should share my videos, you should like my videos, you should subscribe to my channel, and you know, you should comment. So when you comment, we know that whether you're liking my channel, how much you're liking my channel, right? So please comment how much mark you have scored. Let me see how much you could score in this particular video. So this is all in this video. Thank you everyone for staying connected with Ashok Tutorials. So we will meet you up in the next video as soon as possible. Thank you everyone, and stay happy.